All right. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Coconut Connection. My name is G. G Money.
G Money. Hey, y'all. It is Jade, and I am feeling the spring awakening.
Yes.
Yes.
Even though it's gonna rain again.
No, I'm not hearing
Yeah.
that. I'm not claiming that energy. I throw that back
Yes.
at you.
Yes. It's gonna rain next week. So
Ugh.
I think the groundhog did not. I think the groundhog saw its shadow. So or didn't
Ugh.
see shadow. What is it? And he went back in. He's at
Yeah,
six
I think
months of
it's
cold.
when
But
they see the shadow.
I imagine like in the East Coast, because they literally have 6 months of cold weather. Like I can't even imagine that. So this is new for all of us. I'm enjoying it.
Me too.
I like
I
the
am.
60-degree, 70-degree,
Love it.
50-degree weather, especially when it's sunny. It's like beautiful. So I love it when it's I love it when it rains when I'm not striking. That's my rule.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a little nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I was in the classroom. I was like, yeah.
See, why
But
couldn't the weather be like this today where it's
I
sunny and blue and you're out there striking? And
yeah, I could get some sun, my vitamin D. But yeah,
Uh,
I had to be soaking wet. And poncho pictures, no one ever looks attractive in ponchos.
you know what? I like the little red ponchos.
You
I
did?
thought yeah, they were cute.
I was like, oh no, look like a
I
big
liked
red
it.
marshmallow.
I liked it because I felt like, I don't think you guys wore red ponchos last year, right? Or last time you guys striked. That's the
Oh
correct.
well, I don't know. Like I bought red ones because I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy red ones because there was no purple ones. I was gonna buy a purple one too, but yeah, we had clear.
I liked
ones.
it. It's the
But
color of passion and the
yeah,
color of, yes.
yeah, exactly. And what was I gonna say? I forgot. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of strike gear. So every time it rains, teachers are like, it's PTSD for us. Um, every time it rains and you're like, and you're out, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling the vibes, the strike vibes. But I forgot how much it sucked being out there. But yeah, you have your boot. I had my boots on this time.
Yes.
And so
You
the
were
youngins
ready.
were like, oh, that's why you guys are wearing ponchos. Like, I'll be back. So they're like, I'm soaking. I'm like, yeah, we learned.
Oh.
So we call it strike weather now. Like whenever it rains, it's strike weather. Don't piss me off. But like, I feel like every time it rained harder. So this is how hard it rained, the wind and the rain. So you're in your umbrella, but it's diagonal. So it's hitting you at all sides.
Or coming in from the sides or on the front.
It's coming in from the sides, and you're like,
thing.
and so that only adds fuel to the fire. That's when we yell the loudest, we dance the hardest. That's when they turn up the music. It's like, come at me, bro, come at me.
It's like that Forrest Gump, when he's on the sails, and he's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Like, that's all you got. That's all you got. And then it started thundering. That's all you got. And
Bring it on. Bring it on.
And then one of the rallies, it was thundering, and it's like, but then I was like, come on. And then went to my little group, I'm like, when it starts lightning, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm out.
That's all she wrote. That's all she
wrote.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm done. Sign off. Okay, so I thought today would be a good time to talk about theme word, since it's a quarter way. Okay.
Quarter way. How are you doing with your theme word?
Mine is curious, right?
Yes.
Curiosity, curious, be curious. I took this class recently. It's no longer on anymore, but it was an emotional intelligence class. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but it was really good.
Sounds good. It sounds interesting.
And it's kind of like figure yourself out first. Okay. Was half of the class, and the other half of the class how to deal with other people. So find out what makes you go, what makes you tick, and then now deal with the people in your life. So it was very good. I highly recommend it for everybody. It's by a person called Blue Toulousma, and she goes by Blue Centric if you follow her on Instagram or YouTube. And she has a podcast as well, and she's awesome. Um, I can't wait till her book comes out because I'm gonna be there for pre-order.
Nice.
But it really puts it, I think it's something that you have to practice. It puts things in perspective in terms of being curious, just being curious about what makes you tick, but also being curious about what people do. Like instead of judging it right away, which she's very big about, like, don't use your vocabulary, right? The words that you use. But one of our homeworks throughout the whole 8 weeks was don't use the word but and should.
Okay.
Because should is a judgmental word, you know,
Okay.
use and but
Should.
means that you're going to negate everything you say, right? Like she's nice, but not all
Okay.
the time, or not, you know what I mean? Like not on Wednesdays, you know what I mean? Like that you just basically negated everything you said about. So you would say use and or could.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
good.
and I've been kind of better at that. Like, and it does change your whole mindset when you say, um, I don't know, like,
Instead of like, you
uh,
should do this, you could
you could,
try
yeah,
this. You
like
could
I
try.
should have that. I should, uh, be nicer. I don't know, something like
Okay.
you should
Okay.
be, or they should be nicer to that person.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But it's like you could change it to like they could. So there's a possibility, right? You're keeping it open. It's a non-judgmental word, and instead of using but, use and. So that one's a harder one to break, but it's possible because I catch myself all the time. So it's like they should know, or well, there's two of them should, they should know better, but they
Okay.
didn't do what's right. So first of all, they could do better, and and
Okay. I can see
they
the
still have a
difference.
choice to do better,
I can see the difference.
So try that out.
Okay.
The but, don't say but and should, say and could. And the one thing that she had caught me the first day was like saying I don't know. Because she was like, in fact, you do know. It's just the reason why you say I don't know is because it's an easy way out.
Yes. Yes. It kind of,
Like when you disclaim
yes.
things,
Yeah.
it's an easy way out, like accountability off me,
It's like
if
when
I
my
say,
son says, I don't know why I didn't do my homework.
mhm,
You know why you didn't do
no,
your
why? It's just
homework.
easier to say I don't know.
Yes.
As in,
Yes.
okay, leave you off the hook, right? Because you didn't know, but you do know. You have an idea of how this happened.
That's true. And sometimes it's so big. Like when I say in certain times, I don't know, I do know. It's just that I don't know how to put it into words, or it's so deep and it's so big that I don't want to discuss that right now, or I don't want to delve into
Mhm.
the reasoning, or the explanation.
Yeah, like I would say, like whenever you say disclaimers, is because you're like, well, I don't want to be judged for being wrong.
Yes,
But
that's
like, for
true.
example, like the slang ones, you got like 99.99% of all those slang words that you're like, I make a disclaimer. I don't know anything. I don't go on no social media. And it's like, okay, now you're being not truthful now. So
No.
yeah, she's that was practicing my curiosity and knowing
Nice.
why I do what I do, and then learning from it. It's all about learning, like, okay, know better, do better. So it's like,
Yes.
pause to respond, right? Like you don't always have to say something all the time. That's another one for me. Like you don't always have to say something. You could be like, processing,
Mhm.
processing that. So yeah, I think I'm doing well on my curiosity. I think now's a good time because when I pulled I pulled reading for myself,
Mhm.
like, and I told you this before, like for the first 3 months, it was all about grounding,
Yes.
because the next 6 months was all fire. It was all fire cards. And so it's like, there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of action happening. So now's the time to act. This is actually the settling time to it's the quiet before the storm.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, that sounds like it. That sounds
yes.
like it. Mine was, the Empress, and it's the course I had to like freaking shoot big. But it's funny because I am going through so much shadow work and work on self, like that really has made me question just the things that I do and why I do them. And there are moments, that I feel like I'm close. I get close, to embodying that selfless like energy. And it's a lot. It's a lot more than just that, but you know what I mean. But then I also know that there, because it's not natural yet. Like it's not something that I sit in and say, no, you know what? This is me. I am, and I'm not, because it's not natural. Sometimes I'm faking it. Sometimes um maybe I'm not as genuine or nurturing as I could be, or I don't take better care of myself, or nurture my own self. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating at times, because it's like I sense it, like sometimes I can see it being so close, and yet I know there's so much work that goes into getting there that it can be discouraging at times, but I'm not letting myself get discouraged. I just keep trying to better myself and do better and be better, and kind of work through that. So it's been a little rough, I'd say, these past, and it's still rough. And here I thought it was going to be so easy. And
Mhm.
it's not like, because you see your ego, you see the things that aren't good, in you, or you see the intention, like you think that the intention of why you're doing something is not necessarily inherently good, but you think that you're trying to be helpful, right? And it's not, because really you're trying to fulfill something. It's a selfish reason. So then that's not the Empress. The Empress is not selfish. I mean, she's not. So yeah, it's a lot of work, girl. I think I'm just really going through it. And I swear, every time, like, I keep pulling the freaking tower. I don't know. It's like, I'm saying that's because it's my birthday's coming up. That's, you add it all up, and that's the year. So maybe that's just representative of me, but I'm telling you, there's this transformation happening, and I don't know where I'm going to end up at the end of this transformation, but it's kind of scary. So yeah, that's what's happening with me. I
A
don't
lot of
know.
code talking. I was like, I don't know what she's talking about at all. I'm like, okay, as long as it makes sense to you. I was like, as
So
long as it
yeah,
makes sense to you, it's
it
fine.
does. It does. I hope that made sense
Um,
to someone.
yeah, it made sense to somebody. I mean, I'm just thinking Empress is all about I was thinking of like you're the hippie chick. It's like, I think that's why, like, the Empress is not about I'm chill with everything. The Empress is like, I'm grounding myself, I'm centering myself at all times. And that's when you need it the most, when you're in turbulence, when you're not focused or not,
Mhm.
that's when you're supposed to be practicing. So I feel this, my opinion is you have to do practice, you have to practice in order to be. You just can't be, because it's more than that. It's a practice of being, and it being part of your life, not just I'm just gonna will it. I'm just gonna will it to be.
Mm.
It's gonna show up on my doorstep one day if I just want it to happen.
No, it
So
definitely is. It definitely is practice. You are correct in that. It's definitely
yeah, it's
practicing
nothing where
balance,
it's like one day you're just gonna
practicing,
be the Empress. Like,
practicing. No, no, and I know that, but the problem is that's where the issue is that it is im- it's applying that practice, but I've got to get there, because it's like it's
but
rough,
you should just do something very easy. Like just do something that's grounding to you. I'm not gonna make any suggestions of it because it's
Mhm,
really
mhm.
personal, but like that's what it is. That's what it is. And the Empress is very nurturing. It's like you usually see the Empress card with she's pregnant.
Mhm.
Like that's like the mother card.
Well, she definitely has compassion, definitely, and kindness and all those things. And she makes sure the needs of others are met, whether it's
But
like at the
you have to take
mothering,
care of
right?
yourself first, because the
Exactly.
mother, if you don't take
Exactly.
care of the mother, that baby won't be born. So yeah, so I
Exactly.
definitely have to like, okay, well, this is going to be my ritual, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do it even if I feel like it's not working. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
one of those things where you just, it's a muscle. It's a
Mm-hmm.
muscle that you have to exercise, and then it'll be automatic, and then it'll be whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm in a tower year right now, so
Mm-hmm.
I think that's even more so of like, okay, grounding yourself, having ritual, and taking care of yourself, because you have to get through. You're the only one that can get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I definitely, and then that's why for me, it like that whole thing that I was going off on is that whole, I believe that my mental health in that regard, it plays a big part in that too, because how can I love somebody if, that saying, how can you care for somebody if you don't care for yourself? And so
Mhm.
that's why I'm trying to work through that and really come from a place of genuine, I can't like be caring if I can't care for myself. So it's just a whole thing. I mean, I went deep into like a whole thing, but yeah, I know that it starts from there, doing the work there, trying to get
Mhm.
to that place so that I can give to others, you know.
Yeah,
But you are
absolutely.
correct. Practice is correct. There are things I
Yeah.
can do to just do it. Like you said, it's not just doing one thing, like working on my
It's
health.
kind of like, it's kind of like what we talked about with cultural appropriation. It's like I can put out in the universe that I want to be tall,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna happen. Like those are the things, like you can't just manifest everything. Like it's
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
some of those things you have to work for. Um, like wearing platform heels. I mean,
Oh, yes,
you gotta
do
put them
that. I
on.
do that.
You gotta put them
I do that. I do that,
on.
Yes, I agree with you, G. I
But
do.
yeah, you
A
have to
good,
find your
good,
way,
that's a
like,
good advice.
yeah, find your way where it's gonna go. Okay. So today's episode is gonna be about talking a little bit about intuition, and kind of a good segue from the Empress card to like intuition, and just lightly talk about it, because there's a lot of things that we could talk about in terms of that. But I just wanted to just touch upon it. So I want to talk about how everybody's intuitive. Everybody has these abilities. Um, uh, Now, at the degree of how much you use them, is that's what makes everybody different.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
everybody has what we call the clairs, and some, like a muscle, some are stronger than others. So I wanted to just talk about that. um so the one that people like know very well is clairvoyance. So clairvoyance is clear seeing. So
Yes.
that's when maybe you see something through your mind's eye or your third eye. Um, you see flashes of images of something, like a movie or some kind of like a video in your brain, or you can actually, even some people even see things, right? Um, but uh I feel like I don't see things like I see it right in front of me, but I
Yeah.
do have flashes of images sometimes that like that's interesting. I don't know if it means anything. Like yesterday, I had like I was meditating, and I had this vision of like outside my house. I was walking outside on the sidewalk with an astronaut.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's interesting, because I wasn't thinking about astronauts. I wasn't thinking
Yeah.
about, I was like, so I thought that was interesting, but it was very clear they're wearing an astronaut suit. Uh, and it was just like an interesting thing that may or may not mean anything, but those are the things, like, or you notice seeing things, and it's like a sign, right? So have you ever had any experience with clairvoyance?
Mean clairvoyance. I'm
A
trying
lot
to
of
think.
artists have that because we're very imaginative. So
Mhm.
like things in our brain kind of like click, like not click, but you're always like imagining things as an artist.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about clairvoyance. Like, have I seen things? I don't think I don't have clairvoyance.
Okay.
That's not my
Like some
thing.
also I think of things like, oh, like I'll be driving and then I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, is this like another like life or something? Because I was like,
Oh,
imagine myself
interesting.
like into accident or something. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
and I'll just like do the sign of cross. And I was like, thanks for keeping me safe. But
What
like
about when something feels like you've like kind of like when deja vu, is that sort of like, would that be considered sort of like
deja
clairvoyant?
vu is, I don't know what deja vu means. I've been very interested in what it means because it's really weird. Like you're actually in it. Like it's like on repeat, but then it goes away. So I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
deja vu is,
So
but I think this is actually like seeing images, seeing images in your
okay,
brain
yeah, no,
or
then that's
actually
not me.
seeing. Yeah.
That's not me. Yeah.
The other, okay, so the other clear sense is clear audience. So this means clear hearing.
Okay.
So this person that has really strong clear audience is that somebody's ability to hear things psychically without the use of their ears. So it's a telepathic information coming into someone's mind. Um, Sometimes people will hear this as a regular voice as if someone is speaking to them. Um, I also agree that I get messages with music. So if
Yes, you
some
said that before. Yeah.
and I think you probably, and a lot of people have this where you're like you can't get that song out of your head.
Hmm.
It just keeps on playing. Like maybe somebody like starts singing it and then now you can't get it out of your brain. It's kind of sort of like that, just
Okay.
not like somebody else telling you that, but it's like, or you'll hear a song and it'll evoke an emotion and it'll think about somebody, or it
Yeah.
makes you call somebody. And they're like, I was just thinking about you. And it's like, I just, it was like, what a coincidence, right? But there's no
Yes.
coincidences, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
that was a message.
Is
Uh,
that sort of the same thing when you hear a ringing in your ears? Is that clairaudience?
it
No,
could
that's
be.
something.
Yeah, it could be
Okay. Okay.
something with
Because
your ears.
yes, that one I get a little because I get the ringing
Yeah.
in like my left ear with certain things, and I always have
Mhm.
to be like, what was I talking about? Like, what was I doing? What was
Yeah,
I
because that's
in that
something that's not
moment?
actually external from you. Like there's not
Hmm.
actually a ringing, it's internal.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
clair audience is probably what is one of yours.
Okay.
Um, so claircognizance is just knowing things. So this is like some information or knowledge that you don't actually know. Maybe the thoughts pop out of nowhere into your mind and give you information about something that might happen in the future or a situation that might have a right or wrong message. It's also like the knowing, like if you walk into a place that you've never walked into and you just know that there's something off.
Oh, that one's
That's
a good one.
claircognizance.
That
Yeah.
one's a good one because, and I don't know that it that's what I've experienced, but there are times when like I do go into a space or in a situation and it just feels
Yeah. You're just
like
like,
I
I
gotta
just
get out. Like
know.
I just
I just
gotta get
know.
out. Like I can't be here because I feel like I know something bad is gonna happen and I have to like get out of it, you know.
Mm.
Or I
Or
when
you meet somebody, or you meet somebody you
yes,
don't really know, but there's just something like
yes.
no shade, no judgment, but it's like, I don't know. There's something about
Yes, it's an energy. It's an energy that comes
energy.
from them, something. Yes, that
Yes.
I'm not as strong in that one. Like, but I
Like you
do
can't really explain it,
feel
but
it.
you
Yeah,
just like no.
yes. And then
I
people think
think,
I'm crazy because
or
they
some people would like, and I don't know if it's because maybe women do this a lot too, is like you're like, I just know I should not be
yes,
go around that corner.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I mean women. Sorry, I think women. My daughter hates when I say females. Well, I
Mm.
think women probably are probably the most intuitive. Although, like you say, Johnny has very strong
Yeah.
intuition too. But I think I feel like it's inbred in women to have gifts like that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
intuition. But yes, I had a little bit of that clair claircognizance.
The next one is clairsentience. So this is probably you, like you feel like you could feel information within yourself.
Mm.
So it's more of a feeling.
Ooh,
Sometimes it's physical or emotional. Um, maybe you walk in like, there's jealousy, insecurity, fears. Sometimes people actually feel pain, like, some of the mediums.
yeah.
Um, like what's her name from Long Island? She's like, I feel it in my chest.
Oh,
They
wow.
died because of a heart attack. Like
Oof.
very it's a feeling you get that has no explanation. Like you wouldn't know that.
That
Um,
feels very close to claircognizance a bit.
yeah. The claircognizance is a knowing, you just know. Just
Oh, okay. So
but
then,
but sentience is actually feeling the
okay.
feeling.
So then I was wrong. So no, because mine is more of a feeling than
Yeah,
a
this is a
knowing. Like I don't
feeling.
know. It's a feeling.
Yeah, it's a
So
feeling.
yeah.
That's with the knowing, it's like I know that I
Okay.
should
Yeah. No, that's not
go around
me.
that corner, or I know that I
That's
shouldn't
not
hang out
me.
with this person. I don't know why, but I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to be in this person's like circle.
Space. Yeah. Yeah.
But then the
Okay. So
feeling is you're actually feeling like when some people say like, I feel like something's wrong. Are you okay? You know what I mean?
yes.
Like
Yes.
they feel the feel like it's an uncomfortable feeling. So that's when people tell
Clairsentience.
me that it's like, oh no, they must be intuitive or, really
Mm.
empathetic because I'm not frustrated with them, but they feel the frustration. They feel there's
Yes.
frustration, right? Um, okay. The other one is Claire Gustance or
Ooh, that's a
Guston.
new. I've never heard that one.
This is one that I don't really connect with. I don't know if I would want it, but it's clear tasting. So when you
Hmm.
taste something, there you get a message through tasting something.
Wow.
So
I've never
like
heard that.
maybe like a taste takes you one kind of thing of it is that kind of the music thing, right? Like you hear something and it takes you literally time traveling back, like or a message, and it's like some people will taste something and it'll have a bitter taste and it's like, wait a minute, this is chocolate. Like, what is up with that? Um, yeah, I like food too much. I don't think I would want this one.
Yeah, I agree.
I
It kind of
know.
reminds you of like, is it like Ratatouille where the guy eats the food and
Maybe.
it
I don't
takes
okay.
him back
I
to
don't
like
watch movies with
the
rats in it. Sorry. La 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 la.
but yeah, I
You
wouldn't want that one
it
either.
seems like every week someone's talking about Ratatouille. Maybe I finally have to watch it because I'm
You have
like,
not seen
why
Ratatouille?
does this keep on the podcast I listen to? The kids brought it up one time. You're bringing it up. I'm like, I'm telling you, I don't watch any movies where the rat or the mouse is the main character. I can't,
Maybe it'll
especially
change
since
your
he's
mind.
cooking in the kitchen.
It is wild, but I think that if you watch, you should try to watch
I
it
know
to
yeah,
see.
it's like it's nostalgic, right? Like he goes
Yes,
back to
he
that.
goes right back to childhood. Like that's the whole point. Like he eats that dish, and it just transports him the feeling of his mom, his
Why couldn't
love
they
and
made it
the
like a bunny or something? Like I don't understand why it had to be that. I guess because Ratatouille, I guess it wouldn't go good. Um, okay, so the last one I would say is Claire salient. So obviously these are all your senses, right? It's all of
okay, yes, touch, taste, smell.
this one
Mhm.
is smell.
Okay.
So you can smell odors that are not really there.
Oh,
Like you smell roses all of a sudden. You're like, there's no
yeah, I don't
roses
got
around
that.
here.
I don't
And
got
it's like
that.
or you smell like cologne and like nobody's by you is
Ooh,
wearing
that's
cologne.
freaky.
Like some
No.
people have that where it's like, oh, grandpa, like it's like grandpa's here. Or some people will smell smoke, like someone smoking cigarettes or
Yeah.
cigar smoke, and it's not nobody's smoking, but you could smell the smoke.
Wow. No, thank
That is an
goodness I don't got that
interesting
one.
one. Yeah, I definitely don't have that one. So yeah, those are all of it. Now,
Which ones do you have? Do you
I
share
think
them?
I have definitely clairvoyance, like
Yes.
being in my
Mhm.
mind's eye. I choose not to see things like physically in front of me, which you can do that. I definitely have clairaudience. Because and I definitely had that connection with music, music and beats. And it was I really do feel like certain things like are messages like that.
Mhm.
Um I think clear cognizance. I kind of like I want to flex that more. I think
Okay.
I have it. I just it's a whole of like with intuition, you really have to be in tune with yourself. And you have to like go in with like I know things, right? Like I know it. So I've been practicing that. And I think a lot of it, you just have to practice it and trust your gut. Like I think that's the big thing that women are gaslighted so much. And
Yes.
like, okay, that's not a political statement, but I'm just, if for personally for me, being told that that's not really happening, I've learned to doubt myself. Like when I was a young person, and now as an older person, I trust myself more
Mm.
because I know things, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm mature, but I think it came from like, maybe I didn't see it the correct way, but it's like looking back, I'm like, no, you knew when you were in danger, you knew
Yeah.
that you shouldn't
Yeah.
be there. Um, you know, it wasn't your fault. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like those kind of things. And so I would say those are the probably like the three things that I'm really strong on. The feeling, I have a hard time with it because it just depends how I'm feeling. Like if I'm
Yeah.
feeling a certain type of way, then everything else is all uh what is that called?
Subjective.
Tainted, right? It's
Okay. Yeah.
tainted by how I feel. Um, so but all of these you can actually, flex. A lot of it is just paying attention to to around you. So being in a quiet space, contemplating or meditating, you can actually practice some of these things. So if you're gonna be like, I want to practice um, seeing or feeling, you sit with yourself and you just listen to what's around you. And you kind of just it's kind of the curiosity thing. You just kind of pay attention to with no judgment, just practice your senses. Because
Yeah.
I think living in a world that we do, we're distracted constantly. That to the point you don't know when you're hungry, you don't know when you're tired. Like I know
Mhm.
I'm that
Very
like you're
true.
like, wait a minute, I'm cranky. Why am I cranky?
Yeah.
Is it because I'm hungry or tired or something's bothering me? I don't know because I'm so distracted because of life.
Yes. I know
Yeah.
that happens. Like sometimes I've had to, like, I know I'm super tired, but I'm like, do I want to look at TikTok for a little bit? Do I want to read? What do
Mhm.
I, but I know that I'm not doing anybody any good, especially myself, if I stay up even just another 5 minutes. So I will put myself to bed or I will, um, because I can feel it. I can feel that I'm off. Or sometimes when I want to like just, you know, share my energy with the cards or whatever, and I know that I'm not in that headspace or in that, then I got to learn to just not do that because it's not going to be beneficial or, for anybody. I'm just
Yeah.
tired. I'm just, my energy's not there and I'm not, um, it's just not going to turn out
Yeah,
well,
it
you know?
clouds your judgment. I
Yes.
remember something was bothering me, and I have like a deck of cards by my bedside. So just in
Yes.
case, like, and so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna post cards. Like, and I just couldn't, I was blocked. I could not read
Hmm.
it. Like, I was like, I have no idea what this means. Like,
Right. Right.
but because I was so tired, I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, I can't do this
Yeah.
while I'm tired. Like, I need to be able, like right now, I'm just probably thinking sleep is probably the best thing.
Yes.
And I want to know things now. And so yeah, so a lot of it is just like having a quiet moment and just like noticing things and then making it a practice and slowly you never know. Like I said, there's certain things like I'm like, why did I see that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like something that wasn't on the top of my consciousness or subconsciousness. Like, when you worry about things or whatever, I'm like, I was not thinking about astronauts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I definitely was not thinking of you know, just things, right? And I just note it without judging it. I'm like, okay, I'll just note it and I'll write it down. And I'm like, maybe it'll mean something, maybe it doesn't. But I think that's a good practice to have, of like writing these things down that you notice. You're like, wow, a memory just came by. And when I saw a, I don't know, that red wagon or something.
Yes.
And it's like, what is that? Okay. And notice it, because if you are or if you are intuitive, or you want to like flex that muscle more, you'll start to sharpen that skill. And then, yeah. And
So like,
so
how would you, I mean, what are some tips of how to sharpen those skills?
meditation and just focusing
Okay.
on one thing, or just be like, like I'll be like, I see that red hydrant. I hear the wind rustling. Now and then, this thing popped up. Like I said, that thing popped up in my mind, like
Mhm.
that I was like walking down the street, and like I was walking with this astronaut guy, and I was like, I don't know what it means, but I was just like, that was interesting, because I
Like
was like,
random. Yeah. Yeah.
that's random. So,
Yeah.
and we've done this before, automatic writing. When you're in it and it's random, then that's almost like it's like the sweet spot. It's the sweet spot.
You
So
write it down. You write it down too, right?
yeah, like when
Yeah.
I do automatic writing too. Like after I meditate, then I just kind of like words that just come, I'll just start writing it. But there's a sweet spot where it's like, that is so random. Like, where that's not me.
Oh.
That's
Like we did that time we did it in
that's
one
what
of
I'm
our
saying. Like we
episodes.
did.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. When we did automatic writing,
Yeah.
there's a sweet spot where it's like, this is not me writing it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's training, that's flexing your muscle on that. And then that's more like hearing and seeing, because when I was doing that, I was like, I saw things, but I also heard words, and I'll just like write them. And like I said, that one episode that we did, like we didn't talk before that, so we didn't
Mhm.
know how we were doing. So that's why I wanted to test it, to be like, does this message make sense to you? No.
Yeah.
And what was
Okay.
now weird, looking back, and you guys have to hear the automatic writing episode. Um, I did write that I saw you barefoot walking across grass.
Yes, I remember you did.
And that was
That was a
before,
trip.
no, but that was before you picked Empress. If you look at the
Oh.
Empress card, she's barefoot and she's sitting on her throne
Oh, that's
in
right.
nature. Mhm.
Oh, girl. Woo, chills.
Because I was like, I
You're
don't know why I would be picturing that was a joke, right? Like, why would you be out in nature? That would never happen.
That's right. I never touch grass.
You're
I
not
never
going to
go
be
out there.
around plants. And then what was it, like a month later? You're like, my theme word is Empress.
Ooh, that's why, gee, you have these gifts. You just have these gifts that you like.
Either that or I'm crazy. No, I was kidding.
Well, you are
What is it
crazy,
you
but
think?
you are
What is it you
crazy.
think?
No, you are crazy, but you also have these talents. So
All right.
what do you think of this episode? What do you want G and I to talk story about next? Leave us a message or comment on our social media. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate us so we can receive more visibility and grow our audience. We'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment on our social media pages like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search for the Coconut Connection. Our handles are in the show's notes. Or email us at coconutconnection, the number 2 at gmail.com. Okay, so like to segue from what the intuition thing that we are talking about, this portion of my thing, and one of the things that it's like what I'm obsessed with, either it's on TikTok or in life, but usually it's usually from TikTok. But the thing that it's not so much an obsession, but I found what's come up on my For You pages are those tarot oracle channel messages, astrology on TikTok. And I don't know if you have ever seen them.
I've
I know.
seen them, yeah.
Oh, you okay? And a lot of them are, readings for the collective and take what resonates.
Actually,
read the best.
we have a mutual friend that does it.
Oh, we do.
What,
Uh,
what's his channel? Moon. Let me look it up. So anyway, yeah, we know
we know
somebody
somebody. Well,
mutually. I thought you knew, but let
no,
me see.
I have to look it
Okay, let
up.
me look it up. It's on YouTube. I think it's Moon something. Moonlit. Let's see. Whoops. Whoops. Let's see. Okay, where is my I like follow so many people. So let me scroll. I want to say Moonlit something. Hold on, I want to get it right.
Okay.
Oh, Moonlit Messages.
Moonlit messages, huh? And we know this person?
You
Moonlit
know this
messages?
person?
Oh, okay. That's just YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
He
we'll
does
get
collective. He does collective readings for
oh.
by sign.
There's another person that does it too. God, I can't think of his name. I don't know if I put it here in my notes here, but he does YouTube and he does that thing too. He does like by sign, by which I'm gonna look this up now because I'm like, I don't know if this is one that I've seen. Moonlit messages.
Messages.
Okay, moonlit messages on YouTube. Okay. So I have questions at the end for you, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna go into so I don't know how all of a sudden like this popped up on my page. It was, and it's so easy when you see something. Like I try to look for the ones that don't have hashtags, right? The ones that clearly are just it just pops up because it's random. Um, that way it's not on my algorithm because I'm feeling a type of way or whatever. Um, but it makes me wonder sometimes, like, because it can. Some people say it's like kind of feeds a delusion, right? Because it's what maybe you want to hear what in whatever moment you're going through, and then so everything will pop up. So is it genuinely like a message for you? And then the other side, which is, well, nothing is a coincidence, but it's just really hard because how can these people, I think, how can they be reading for you when they don't know you, right? They don't know your energy. They don't know, um, like how you and I, when we do ours, and it's like the energy that we have
Mhm.
and the relationship we have. So it feels more genuine.
Mhm.
But there are people that just, it's really interesting. I think also it's the persona that they put, right? It's all of them have not a personality. Well, they do have personality, but that's the thing that they market, right? Like they have to have an edge somehow amongst all the other ones. So
Mhm.
like this one person, her name is Black Emperor Queen, and she's a Scorpio. She has a soft voice. She's confident and she's empowering, and she's a Black woman, she's very like just positive, and like so when she reads for you, she's got that quiet voice, so you really feel like she's your friend, like she's really is reading for you. And then there's Amy Demure, who she does astrology, so charts, and she'll tell you what's happening with the planetary aspects. And she has a kind of a stylish home decor and kind of like sexy-ish outfits, just very fitting. And it's her room's black with like flowers, like wallpaper. And then there's Lion's Blood Tarot, and her makeup, right? She does her aesthetics are just really pretty, and the color she uses, and her hair, the way she has her hair, and she does tarot. Then there are the men. There's like Astrology by Mari, and he does funny tidbits about the signs and silly astrology things where he giggles, when he says something silly about the signs. So, it's just so that. And another guy, Uncle Bronze, he does YouTube format through like he detailed messages. He does multiple cards. He does Oracle. He um like channels messages and stuff. So it's just interesting to pull, these people. The other two, one's like a gamer. He kind of looks like a gamer guy, the way he does it. He just seems like he's really for you and just like lifts you up and stuff. And so it's just kind of tough. Like, I don't know, like what do you think about, what is your feeling about like online readers, and like if you have any opinions about.
My opinion about it is I think, well, first of all, don't like I think it's better to just work with just like one because
Yeah.
like it's very confusing because well the first I mean you should always read yourself first.
Yes. Yes.
Um but I do watch one.
Oh, okay.
It's Rochelle at Brown Bruja, BROWNBRUHA. And she does new moon and full moon readings. And she does, a couple piles. Um, and it just depends on how intuitively she feels. And she always says, like, if it resonates, it's for you. If it doesn't, then it's not. So um, and I think that's a good guideline for me because sometimes like the last one she did, none of it resonated with me.
Okay.
And that's a good thing because then you know what resonates with you. That means you know
Okay.
yourself good. You know yourself well. Um, and then other times it was like more than one pile was for me, like,
Wow.
2, 3. And so um like I said, the best reading is when you read for yourself, as
Yes.
you can take it or leave it. I like Brown Bruja because she always has homework for you. Like, so how do you what if this is you, like, so she'll pull an oracle card or pull more cards and be like, this is what you need to do, you know.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my take on that. I think it would be confusing to like I've seen people and I was like, you know what? I don't want to see anymore. Cause I'm like, like I don't like the readings to me are like too much. Like I
Yeah.
get too bombarded, like, and it's too much. Like too many cards. I don't like when they pull too many cards. I don't like
Yeah.
when it's too confusing. Like I think, what resonates, like that's with anything, right? Like if you're walking down the street and like you see you have a sign or whatever, it's really like what resonates with you, like what's going to make you listen to yourself better.
Yeah, I totally agree with you for reading for yourself, which is why I started to learn more. That's one of the things on my list is trying to really build my own intuition on things. And
Mhm.
that's why I want to ask you because, tarot can be so overwhelming, right? Like all the different meanings and all the different cards and what do they mean. So I wanted to know like how did you learn like the meaning of the cards and to form your own interpretation of them after you learn the meanings and like what methods you used to like really learn about a card's meaning?
Yeah, so I got taught how to read tarot cards by Rishal at Brau Bruja. I think, how long was the course for? It seemed like it was all summer.
Oh,
And she taught us through the Rider Waite cards because
okay.
at least that's more consistency of like a lot of the cards that are out there. Um, so we learned through that, and she basically didn't teach us through the, like, she's like, throw away the guidebook.
Oh, okay.
Let's just look at the cards, and we would just look at the cards and what story do you see? And so her method of teaching it is, a lot of different things. Like you can read what things mean, but don't take it to heart. Like, because it's really, you're training yourself. It's not the cards, it's you.
Okay.
So like I even started, like if I read for people, now I'm thinking like, I'm not going to show them what it is because they might interpret it like, well, this is what I think it means. And really it's not what the
Mm.
card is. It's what the reader is reading. So like, say for example, we talked about the tower card. Like
Mhm.
somebody would be like, get a reaction from it. But what if it's telling me something different about what is happening? Right. So I think it comes with practice. To when you figure out your own way of reading it. And I think where you start is for yourself. And then like maybe like other people that are open to like getting read and like having a little compassion and grace, like that you might not, you are stumbling through it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that's how I kind of developed the confidence of doing that. And then also like believing in myself, like without the cards, be like, what do I know? What I know
Yeah.
is happening. How do I feel what's happening? Like, am I seeing something? Like it goes back to the clairs. And because really you can read people without it, right? It's just a tool. Like it's just a tool to help you maybe focus.
Hmm.
But yeah, I know that's not a clear cut answer, but I'm wary about when people say it only means this.
Yeah.
I've been taught, like, be wary of people that said it only means
Okay.
this.
So it
Cause
can mean
then,
different things when you see the same
because then you're
card.
just reading the card.
Ah, okay.
You're not delving deep in yourself what it means.
Okay.
And that's what it's for. It's like you're supposed to be feeling what it is that you're supposed to tell this person.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel? And so, and it leads me to how do you feel about like reverse cards? And do you always take reverse, or do you sometimes say, I'm not going to take the reverse?
This
And
year, I decided not to take the reverse.
okay.
I flip everything up right now,
Okay.
and then I just go with what my feeling is. So it's always either or, like, but it also depends on like how it lays in the line,
Yes.
what story it's telling you, and it also depends on a lot of other things too. Like, you know, you might get like uh the two of wands, and it could mean something like you're making a decision, but then it's really like, are you making a hard decision, or is this like
Mm,
a decision, oh, I get to have two choices, like,
yes.
so it's upside down, upright. I feel like it can mean, it can still go that way. I just feel like when it's reversed, it kind of it just stops my flow, and so I just turn it upright, and I just like, okay,
Interesting.
what
Okay.
how does it flow in the line? And then but yeah, that's a personal choice for people. Some people like the reversals, but I feel like they're all one and the same,
Okay. No,
right? It's like all in how you look at it, right? Like
yes.
something could be
Yes.
seen as a challenge, and other times people will look at it as a possibility.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's really good. That's really good. Cause like this is all helping me for me. Like I actually paid for a read. I was curious. I was
Mhm.
curious. Yeah, so I paid for a reading from one of these people on the list.
Mhm.
And, it was interesting, but I have to say that I didn't feel like, when you and I do, like when you read for me, I
Mhm.
really get something from it. And I really feel like the message, and I feel um, like it really is, I feel it like
That's
inside,
good.
but when he did it, it was like, no, it was kind of like not disappointing. It wasn't disappointing. Well, it was disappointing. A
Okay.
little bit. It was disappointing.
Yeah, it's one
And
of those things where like you gotta find somebody that you really gel with. It's never gonna be like, oh,
right.
the first person, like, it's gotta, like, you gotta find somebody you really resonate with, that you gel with, I guess.
Yes, I think that you're correct in that, because that was kind of like weird. And then I was like, but I was curious, I wanted to,
Okay,
because I
yeah.
liked his style, and I resonated with his energy, and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, but I think that he does better collective reading, or when he's doing it free, right? When he doesn't have to do it for somebody, and he's just pulling the
Mhm.
cards. I feel like, yes, I think he does hear the messages, and he does it, but I feel like, I don't know, I didn't feel connected with him in any way when
Yeah.
I did that, and that was disappointing. But hey, but
Yeah,
when
like,
you know, you know.
it's kind of those things you have to try, you have to try and see, like, you don't know who could be. That's why I wanted to say that I do highly recommend, Rochelle Brown Bruja. Her whole goal is to teach people to read themselves or read other people.
Okay.
She does readings for people for sure, so you can have that, but her goal is like teaching people. She's
Teaching
like a
them to be
spiritual
intuitive.
educator.
I love that. Okay, so I'll
Spiritual
check her out.
educator.
Okay.
I highly recommend her. A lot of the things she says make sense to me. Um, she's from Hawaii. She's Filipino Japanese, like, so a lot of the things that she does for rituals, like, we get, like,
Yeah.
offerings for the altar, and like cooking and all that stuff, like, certain things like that. And so, and I feel like she's to me, very accessible, like not like she's very down to earth, like not very what you would think, um like you saying, like all the other things that come with
Yes.
being a witch, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's very accessible. And the advice she gives, I think, is very clear to me. Like you said, it has to be
Yeah,
clear.
you've learned so much. You've
I've
learned, I
learned a
mean,
lot.
so much from her, like to
Yeah.
how to trust yourself and how to just like, learn to interpret and just go with your intuition. Like I think that she's
Right. Like,
taught you
you
a
know
lot.
better. Like, you have a whole spirit team with you
Mhm.
that's just ready and waiting. You know what I mean? You have, you have the divine source, you have the universe, they're all there. I think sometimes when you can't read for yourself, like it's
Mhm.
unclear, yeah, it is good to get somebody else's take on it.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you're like, does it resonate? Like,
Yeah.
is it exactly what I need to know right now?
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky thing, but but yeah, definitely practicing. Like, I was practicing every day. But I tend to overdo things. Now I'm just like kind of just um I practice on a daily, but not card, not
Yeah.
tarot. I do that like once a week because I was kind of over doing it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like you're
And did
like,
you say you got tired? Like you were feeling like your energy was, I can't remember, you were
yeah,
talking
I
to
was
her.
there was
Yeah.
one part where I was actually doing like healing work,
Yes.
and I was doing it like every day for like 3 days, and I was
Yes.
exhausted. So I was like, oh yeah, because it's not like more is more. Like in
Yeah.
that case, more is not more. Like if I do it more, in fact, I'll be better, right? I'll
Yeah.
be like, I'm on the fast track.
Yeah.
Like, I just want the crown right now, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Because you're keeping yourself open, like your
Yeah.
channel open, and it's like very you if you it's like, in my opinion, I felt like it was open, not closed.
Yeah.
And I was feeling all the things. And instead of cutting it off, and like, I'm in the present now.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
I
just,
appreciate that. Like I appreciate that advice because there are like I don't look at them all, there are a few, but yeah, it gets too much. And also you got to, like you said, learn to trust yourself. You have to learn
yeah.
to like read for yourself and trust that what's happening
Yeah.
in
I think
you.
that's the most powerful
Yes.
thing. When you
Yes.
know yourself more, I think that's very powerful and impactful.
Well, thank you, G. Yep. So that's my obsession for the week, for the month, for the year.
Yeah. I was like,
But
okay.
thank you, Rochelle from
Michelle
yeah,
from
from
Brown,
Brujas.
but Bruja with the H, not a J.
Okay, I'm gonna check it
Check
out
her out
because
on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel as well.
thank you.
And she does new moon and full moon readings, and check it out. It might work for you, it might not. But I like it, you know.
I am gonna check it out. I am
Mhm.
because I've heard nothing but positive things. I mean, I've seen your journey, I've seen,
Yes.
and I respect like anybody that you respect. I know totally has earned that respect.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely put my name behind that for sure.
Nice.
All right. So, any last thoughts about our talk about intuition, clairs, readings,
I don't know.
collective
I
readings?
I definitely I definitely am learning to try to trust myself more, and I have like before I was like super like obsessed, like with that. But then I'm
Mhm.
like, you know what? I didn't like I didn't feel like a lot of it resonated with me. And I'm like, but why
Mhm.
am I doing this one? I just do them. I mean, I know I have these gifts in myself. Like I should be trying to strengthen that, my
Mhm.
own voice
Yes.
inside instead of
Yes.
somebody else's voice. So I've been trying to do that. And I feel like there are moments, when it's clear and there's clarity that it is more fulfilling because I know that that's me. I know it inside of myself, like the
Mhm.
way that what I'm seeing and what I'm interpreting. I know that that is to be true, like what my and
Mhm.
then what the spirit my spirit guides are trying to tell me.
Mhm.
So yes, I do, like everything else, like you said, it's practice. It's practice. It's putting things into
Yeah, it's
practice.
it's like flexing a muscle,
Mm,
like walking on the treadmill or lifting weights. Like you have to do it more. You can't just do it once and then you're
you're a
perfect.
pro.
Yeah, you're perfect health. It's exactly that. And then, but for me, when I started doing it more, like when I started to trust myself more, I think I became a little bit more happier, and I was able to reinforce healthy boundaries. So I know it sounds like, wow, this is so woo woo and so like witchy vibes and all that, but it's really like basic shit.
Yeah.
Like protect your peace, protect your boundaries, reinforce them, like trust yourself, meditate. Like it's like these are just life skills,
Yeah. But
that
they're so easy, but you don't think about it, right? But
because of just society. And I don't want to say
mm,
society, but it's the way things are, where it's like, work hard, work hard and put your nose to the grindstone, and you know, um, doubt yourself all the time. Your bosses are always
yes.
putting doubt in yourself, like you're not good yet. You're not good enough. And it's like testing the way you feel about yourself all the time. And you're like, it's all about profit. It's all about like results, right? It's not about how you feel. It's like uh how much money can you make somebody else, how much production you can make for somebody else. And I think that yourself gets lost when people are like, lost myself, because
Yes.
you no longer believe in yourself, or listen, or you doubt yourself. And I think that's where it all comes from. And that's why the history of healers, that like you said, like most more women, those the senses, right? We're always taught to like stick to the facts, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just imagining it in your head. You're like, I have a feeling you're cheating on me, you know what I mean? No, you're crazy. It's like you're a true parent. Like we have grown up with that. And even our movies reflect that. You know, the movies that we watch, the TV shows that we watch is all showing that women are crazy and we don't know better. We need a man to
Yes.
to ground us. So this is
Yes.
like a dawning of a new age for us to be like, no, I know things. I know that I don't
Yeah.
know things, and I know that I know what I know. So when it
Yes.
comes to myself, always trust yourself. And if you're not sure, then it means you need clarity, and you need to clear yourself, and you need to get down to the nitty gritty of like who you are. And like part of that is shadow work, part of that is meditation, part of that is self-care. Self-care is
Mm-hmm.
the biggest one, because like I said, like if you're not taking care of yourself, you cannot read yourself.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
hard. You will start to get paranoid. You will start to have bad habits and like go down the rabbit hole, or numb out because you don't want to be present or mindful. So yeah, I guess that's the long and short of
well,
it.
thank you, G. That's awesome. I love that.
Yes. So every Sunday, check us out wherever you listen to podcasts, or check out our YouTube channel, the Coconut Connection Podcast, and check out our other episodes too, especially the automatic writing one.
Oh, love that one. Yes.
Mm.
And have a gorgeous day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.